Hi everybody, welcome to the OldOSH TV. As always, I am your host Karen Brown, the publisher and editor of the OldOSH, and we're back in our studio today. So welcome to everybody. We're going to talk this week about some of the articles that we published on theoldish.com, and you'll be able to see all of those. I'm actually going to show you the articles. I want to tell you though that yesterday I had a most fascinating experience. I was invited to participate in the second class given in Canada by a group from Educate. So that's A-G-E, Educate. They have a program that they are licensed in Canada to deliver. It's originally an American program, so those of you in the States may be aware of it. But throughout the program, one of the components was that we were all geared up with things that were meant to replicate the feeling of having dementia. It was so interesting. The reason I was doing this was because we are going to be talking to the ladies who deliver the program on an episode of Real Life Renos, which we will be podcasting tomorrow, actually. It won't be live tomorrow, but I'm going to let you know on this Facebook page when that episode is, because it was just so interesting having the ability to have something of an understanding of what it's like to have dementia and try to move through this world of ours. So stay tuned for that. Now then, let me dive into some of these articles that I wanted to talk to you about. The first one has to do with exercise. And there it is. Learning the benefits of intuitive exercise. You know how it is sometimes in the morning you get up and you think, oh, I have to go to the gym, I have to do that same exercise program again, or I have to walk that same path or lift those same weights. Whatever it is that you are in a habit of doing, this article talks about intuitive exercise where you listen to your body and to what it might need. So one day it might need that 3-kilometer run or 2-kilometer walk, but another day it might need stretching or strengthening exercise. So this is all about getting used to what your body is telling you it needs. I found that really interesting. For those of you who do any intuitive eating, your body tells you it needs more water, or gosh, I really need vegetables today, or I could dig into a steak. Your body does tend to speak to you about what it needs. This is the same kind of thing, only it has to do with movement and how your body exercises. So I thought that one was really interesting. Does anybody out there do intuitive exercise? Or does anybody think that might be something that you might be interested in? While you're on that walk, your body is screaming at you about its need to stretch more or lift weights more. Have you had that experience? I have. I actually have. And my typical exercise, as many of you will know, is treadmill. So I'm on the treadmill every day. Spring, summer, winter, and fall, I'm on the treadmill. I think I'm going to start paying a little bit more attention to what my body says it needs, though. That could be a really interesting sort of thing. The next article I wanted to talk to you about was, let me just get over here, this one. Oh, I love this. This is all about a modeling agency in Russia. Here we go, the OldOSH modeling agency. For the most part, they hire models over the age of 60. And they promote them in their advertising work that they hire these models out for. Isn't that interesting? So it really speaks to the demographics of the people who are out there and looking at the ads or watching the ads on a commercial. So their youngest model, Sergey, is 45 years old. He's a man, of course, but they hire them right up to age 85. Isn't that interesting? I really like that idea. The next article I want to show you is this one that has to do with more seniors aging with elderly parents. Now, of course, we all know that science has figured out how to keep us living longer, and we are living longer. So are our parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles, all of that. So what we're ending up with is aging seniors who are looking after older seniors. And to no one's surprise, this is causing some issues in mobility, in isolation, in patience, in depression. So, if you are one of these people who is a younger senior looking after an elderly senior, you're not alone. So this was a report in the New York Times. There's a link to the research there from a gerontologist at the University of Massachusetts. And it talks specifically about being the primary caregiver who is a senior themselves and looking after this older senior. You may find that to be of great interest. And there is a link to the National Institute on Aging. The last article I want to talk to you about is this one, drug theft in assisted living. Now understand, assisted living is not a long-term care facility. It is basically a housing unit. It could be apartments. It could be a section of a long-term care facility where greater care is needed. There may also be a nursing home there. But assisted living is where people more or less live on their own. They may or may not have some level of dementia. They may or may not be living by themselves. They could be living alone. They could be living with a partner or a friend in a 2-bedroom unit. The point is they are not living with the direct 24/7 supervision of frontline healthcare workers. And what is happening, according to this article, is that medications are being stolen. People are sneaking in and they are swapping out opioids for other kinds of medication. And because they are able to confuse the resident of that particular unit, a lot of this goes unreported. So they even talked about cameras. The average resident lost 45 doses of medication to theft, but only 25% were caught on camera. So if the average resident in one of these facilities is losing 45 doses, times the number of residents who live in that facility, but only 25 are being caught on camera. There is not a suggestion that it is the frontline healthcare workers who are doing the thefts either. It could be relatives of residents. It could be people who somehow sneak into the residence or are allowed in because they're making deliveries of some kind, or they forge their way in under some other means. But it is definitely a problem. It's something that we all have to watch out for. So they do talk in this article about how this kind of thing can be prevented. They talk about cameras. Of course, there's always an issue, if you're dealing with somebody's private room, there's always the privacy issue. So it's a thin line to walk. And who's keeping track of these medications anyway? Are you expecting the resident who may have some cognitive impairment to keep track of their own medications? Do they know what they look like from one day to the next? As I told you at the top of the show, I just participated in this event yesterday where there was a simulation of what a person with dementia may see and feel and think. It is really, really difficult when your vision is impaired, when your hearing is impaired, and when your mobility with dexterity is impaired, to understand what you're supposed to do at any given time, much less that you have the right tools to do it with. So swap the word tool for medication. They may not know what the medication looks like, only that there is some kind of medication in a place where medication is supposed to be, and they know that at this point in the day they're supposed to take it. Now, some cognitive impairments may make them more aware at some times and less aware at other times, but it's a very, very challenging problem, and it may require a lot of people to sort this out. And you may need cameras. You may need cameras. There may be the option of having medication dispensing units, much like they have at a lot of hospitals and long-term care facilities. But is this assisted living facility a facility that goes that far, where medications are dispensed? That may mean more staff on hand, more oversight. You know, it's, as I say, very, very difficult to sense what needs to be done. But the important thing here is for us all to be aware that this is happening. It is happening, and it's not going to go away until the pieces of prevention are put in place. Have any of you had that kind of experience where you feel that your medication has been swapped, or you feel that the medication of someone you love has been swapped? It would be interesting to know that and understand that. So those are the articles I wanted to show you for this week. Again, they are all on our website, which is theoldish.com. Let me just get out of this and go here, where I can show you the front page of this. There it is. There's the front page. You can subscribe to our newsletter there, and you can see all of the different channels that we have and all of the different articles within those individual channels. So the most popular articles are at the top, and then you move into the various channels. Narrative medicine is something we talked about on another show. Long-term care, there's the drug theft article. Health, there's the intuitive exercise piece that we talked about a bit ago, and the mild dehydration piece. So they are all there for you if you choose to have a look at them. And I hope that you do. I hope that you subscribe. I hope that you are able to participate in these weekly live shows on an ongoing basis. They are always archived for you. So if you have something to say, if it's private, you can DM me. If it is something that you don't mind sharing publicly and perhaps encouraging a conversation, please feel free to do that. We don't want you slandering anybody, so, you know, if you're somebody who has been involved in something where medication has been stolen or swapped out, let's not name the facility until we know that they are actually proactive about this, because we don't want any slander here. That's fine. To have the discussion, it's fine to have the discussion, but not okay to slander somebody. If you are on other social platforms and you prefer to engage with us or with other people there, just go to your preferred platform and search for The OldOSH. We are there, we're always there, and we're happy to engage with you there as well. Meanwhile, until next Wednesday, I thank you for being with us today. I thank you for your input, which I'm sure will be coming. And please do remember that it takes a village to age a senior. Look after one another.